grass, oilseed radish, poplars. I didn't count the trees, but there's multiple varieties of tree in the game. Your sugar beet, sugar cane, potatoes, and the 3 new ones, the root crops that we got as part of the premium edition. They don't usually remove crops, so we're just going to get more. So there's 3 more. We can already see 3 more. Are they going to be more than that? Don't know. And then I think over 500 pieces of machinery, and I think over 180 manufacturers. Now again, if you count up the number of manufacturers we already have, we're pretty much up to, I think, 183 all told. Now, they might drop some. They have been known to do that in the past. Big Bud was released in Farm Sim 17. It was not base game for Farm Sim 19. It was part of the first week Mod Hub release. I think they did similar with the Cavernan Vicon pack from Farm Sim 19. Was not included in the base game of Farm Sim 22. Instead, they released all of that equipment as single piece patches on the first week or 2 weeks of the release of Farm Sim 22. Now, the reason they do that, speaking as a computer programmer, you've tested your game, you've kind of tested the Mod Hub, but it's not had a major thrashing, if you like. Basically, the Mod Hub, they're able to test, can we see things? Does it sort right? Does it? Can I download a thing that's put on it? But that's the testers. They don't release it to the what is it? The community leaders to showcase pre-release. So we're kind of at a situation of, well, we know it's there, but we don't know if it works reliably. So the first week, what happens is Giants holds back a couple of pieces of equipment or buildings and dumps them on the Mod Hub when they are ready to test it. And if they put high demand stuff on the Mod Hub, lots and lots and lots of people are going to try downloading those mods pretty much immediately. So all of a sudden you're going to get everybody who wanted a Big Bud tractor would go onto the Mod Hub and download Big Bud because they didn't buy the DLC, or they did buy the DLC and they wanted that tractor. So you get hundreds, potentially thousands of people on the Mod Hub downloading the thing at the same time. They're able to monitor the usage and just determine, are there any problems here, or are we seeing a slight issue that could be a problem later when we add more mods to the Mod Hub. So that's why they do it that way. At least that's the way I'd do it if I was a programmer or a project leader or whatever. Is let's release it controlled, and then once we know it all works, everybody can play with it, and we'll let modders upload stuff or submit stuff and get them uploaded to the mod hub, and then everything's fine and wonderful. So there is the potential that we will see some of the equipment that we had released as DLC in Farm Sim 19 might not be base game in Farm Sim 22, but that's okay. We'll get it week 1 of release as a mod. What I didn't like about the Glenleathann Vicon stuff was you had to download each individual one as a mod. And when we got the Kubota equipment pack, everything everything that was Vicon Glenleathann was basically coloured orange and released as one mod. Obviously, I kind of like that because I don't like having to deal with 50 mods when one pack would do. Anyway, generate fieldwork. I'm not actually looking at. Oh yes, there it is. Yeah, that's obviously going to be a little bit more complicated, and the start point isn't at this end. So anyway, that's all the stuff we have to look forward to as far as I'm aware for Farming Simulator 25. There may be some other things that I glossed over, but I think whether you're going to be able to flood fields to turn them into rice fields, is that does that mean we can flood any field, or are we going to build? It's sort of what we've seen of the introductory video. It's sort of a weird question of, are we going to create rice fields like we currently create olive groves and vineyards? In other words, you place a field full of water, or you draw a field and then you flood it. Or are we going to have something like pipes and hoses added, where lost my tractor. Still lost my tractor. There's my tractor. Yeah, or are we going to end up with pumps? So, you know, something like pumps and hoses, where you connect a pipe to a water spigot and put a pump on the end, and then point it in the direction of a field, and then let the field fill itself up. I don't know. Potentially, they could do it either way. And I think that the whole point of the cinematic video, or the cinematic trailer, is to get us questioning things. They've also said the ground is going to be deformable. Now, again, I'm not too fussed about deformable ground. However, that said, I do like the idea of there being ruts where you run a plough or whatever, or you drive somewhere and it's wet. You will get ruts, potentially on farm tracks too. It would be nice if the ground deforms where you don't own the ground. So driving across here, the tyre tracks could become permanent where you are driving in dirt, maybe not so much on tarmac or things like that. And then, yeah, maybe a shovel could be used to smooth off the ruts that you make. One of the new pieces of equipment does appear to be Aprilia, which I believe it is a Italian motorcycle company. So that will be interesting, but also the way the cinematic trailer makes it looks like the suspension works. So given deformable terrain, we might end up with slightly more interesting suspension reaction as we drive over things. Because right now it's a little bit lacking, but it's kind of an arcade game, not a true to life simulator. It's one of the reasons why I haven't worried too much about deformable terrain till now. It's not something that makes or breaks the game for me. It's something that would be I wouldn't complain about it if it was there, but I won't have a meltdown because it's not. And also, they said added weather effects. Again, don't know what that means. Does that mean that if it's too sunny, the crop dries out, you get a lower yield? If it's too rainy, then again the crop stifles and you don't get a good yield? Or are we still just having, if it's raining and you try and harvest during the rain, your yield percentage will be 25% of what you'd expect it to be? I don't know. Cavalier Roy, good day. Welcome to another Saturday. I have to ride the brakes down this hill, guy. Brakes. I think there is a mod that makes the brakes worse, which is a good job I'm not running that. So, do you have thoughts on the what we know of Farm Sim 25 so far? Oh, they also told us about the Year 1 Season Pass with clues. So the first one will be innovative machinery or something like that. I don't know what that's going to be. It might be some self-driving tractors and harvesters, or what? Oh yes, because that's coming up this week as well. The second one is going to be sort of the clue seems to indicate it's going to be big stuff, kind of like the Borgalt. Do we have that? I can't remember. The Borgalt pack a couple of years ago was just huge cedars, and because I tend to play small farms, it was completely pointless to me. I preferred things like the Coon and the what's the other one? The Glenleathann Vicon equipment. Because it's more in fitting with the size of farms I play. But it does sound like we'll get possibly some massive cultivators and planters and things like that on the second thing. And it's usually the second drop or the second DLC of a year is usually a single new equipment manufacturer. So like I said, Kern or Glenleathann were things we hadn't seen before in Farming Simulator, or at least the current iteration of Farming Simulator. Hey, we just got a whole bunch of new ones. The third one is something along the lines of When the Stars Align, which I don't know. we're going to get werewolves as breeding stock. I just don't know what that means. And then the fourth DLC, potentially the Platinum Edition or whatever it's going to be, is looking to be an English map, possibly Scotland, and stuff. Who knows? We might get a new crop. Or something. But yeah, the big sort of annual, end of year expanded DLC tends to be a new map and some map specific equipment and things like that. I'm getting stuck on. Oh yeah, I am getting stuck on. Let's pull forward and try that again. So yeah, that's all to look forward to over the coming months. We will probably get more information as time goes by. I have now not only got all of my maps combined. Oh, you've got the 4X. Oh no, yeah, because Giants did say they've improved. They improved the graphics for this iteration. I can't remember if they said they've also improved sound or not. But I guess we'll, because I think the last one improved the sound. This one, sorry, FS22, we got improved sound. So we do, I never missed it before, but I do like the thump of the trailers loaded and sort of the clang. I don't hear anything like hydraulic sounds and stuff like that when you're raising and lowering trailers, but then maybe that's because I'm not close enough to hear it. And I do have the sound cranked down quite low. So who knows? But there is some semblance of bouncing around when you drive over ploughed portions of field. But really, I think with deformable terrain we are going to get a much more pronounced shaking about of equipment. Okay, and we are back. How's the Massey Ferguson has 20 minutes left to roll. That is good. That's true. Yeah, the fact that they're dropping old generations of console does kind of indicate that things will be improved a little. I don't know how significant that will be. I also heard some, I can't remember which YouTuber was talking about it, but might have been CLP. we don't get scripting mods on consoles, and I think he said generally, I think it's Sony. Just no, you can put different pictures on, so you can strap a different shape to a tractor, and that's fine. That's just colouring pixels in, but you can't include a new script with it, and things like guidance steering and Maize Plus and all that. No, you're not going to get that on a Sony machine. Now, he then added that theoretically you could get it on a Microsoft console, because Microsoft does allow scripts on their consoles, but he then surmised that maybe why that doesn't happen is because they just want a common console basis for the game, and so since Sony don't allow script mods, they don't want to allow Microsoft to have script mods, because that then creates 3 versions of the game rather than just 2, and they're trying to get the 2 to play together. So brakes again. And we know they have they've seen their way to getting scripts into a console, but it was by Giants modifying the game so that all of the function was embedded in the game, and the script just turned into a UI, almost a UI element. I think we're big enough now. I can drive around here. And the thing is, I mean, one of the points to make is that Giants tests, and I presume analyzes the scripts before they release them on the mod hub. So it's not like we can download a mod from the mod hub that's going to do malicious stuff to our PCs. Now you go off to some of the third-party mod hosters and all bets are off. I'm pretty sure they don't test stuff, they just upload it, and if something bad happens, that's your problem. But I think in the case of consoles, Sony have just said, no, we don't want any scripts that aren't part of the official game loaded onto or made available within the games, because if someone does put malicious scripting in there, then it's going to hack Sony's system. Microsoft aren't too much bothered, but they probably have the proviso of, you can't release a script to us unless you have thoroughly tested it before you put it out there. And again, that may just be why we don't get scripts on consoles, is because the console manufacturers are saying you have to test them, and Giants are saying we don't have time, so we just won't allow them. How about that? Where'd my tractor go? Where is my tractor? I appear to have lost a tractor. Oh, why are you there? I don't know. Well, that's a bit different, I guess. I think I've done enough on the right side from our viewpoint, this is getting really full. And here we are. So yeah, my latest here is I am now seriously editing what's going on the map. Which it actually works with the new mini-map thing, whatever it's called. I can actually plough up a field and the trees that were there are replaced by the field thing, whatever it is. So over here we've combined these 3 fields, we've combined these 3 fields, and the stuff between them has gone, which is nice. I do intend to extend that up to the top there, and then plough this thing together. Then we're going to have fun there. That will be the barley field for the next year. Mini-map, yes. And other things that are going to be questions out there in the wild for a while are what functionality is Giants going to add? Because we've had real Ismasted seasons for 17 and 19, and then Giants just went and added seasons to the game. Now, for my long-term series, Saturday series, I do tend to prefer to play with seasons and precision farming. So I think I played Lawfolds for almost the entire first year that Farming Simulator 19 came out, because seasons wasn't available, and I liked it so much, and I wanted it in my in my Saturday series. At the time I was still streaming weekdays, short series. I don't mind playing a short series without seasons, but I really prefer to add it for the long series.